Hi there, Michael Talbot-Kelly here. I'm excited to share with you some more simple strategies of you living into your purpose and how it is that you can not just strategize, but actually own the territory. And we've been talking about the slope of Freedom Mountain, of moving from a day job of work to now serving humanity. A job that was just about making money. Now you're on your purpose, you're on gift, and you're in your essential qualities, and you're really fully expressing what you came here to do, your service to humanity. And that's about people, planet, profit, not just about profit. Make sense? So just different definitions. One you might say is prosperity, the other one you might say is success. But today on here, I want to talk to you about these three invisible forces of nature. Can you see them? They're invisible, but they're going to become visible in a second. We have to learn. Gravity is gravity. Things fall. The apple comes down off a tree. We fall out of a tree. We fall from grace sometimes. We fall from a false hubris. We also need to work with, the fact that the sun comes up every day. You're going to have a hard time bucking that system, and of course the moon at nighttime, and so and then we have the reddening on the day and the night at the beginning of the day, the sunrise and the sunset, and we've talked a little bit about those three hearts being expressed. But I'm going back, not ahead of myself, I'm going back on myself. I want today to talk about these three forces of nature that now you know what your purpose is. Now, how do I live into it? How do I make a declaration and start to really move in with nature, not fighting nature? You need to work with the sun, you need to work with the moon, you need to work with the sunrise and the sunset, you need to work with your mind and your body and your heart, these hearts that we have. So let's go there, okay? So what I'm saying to you today is that there are three laws, or I want to say they're forces of nature, and you really can't mess with them. And I'm going to say that you're now have examined the purpose of your life, or the purpose is. You remember, you know now that there's a purpose with self. There's a purpose with relationships. There's an S on the end there. It's relationships, many, one belonging to one significant other, and many, villagers, friends, colleagues, butcher, baker, candlestick maker. So we can be on purpose within our relationships, we can be on purpose with ourselves, and of course we've been talking about how it is that we can move from work down into the area of really feeling like we're on purpose with our service to humanity, our gifts, where our meaningful life is, where our aliveness is. And so here we are, we know what the purpose is. Now we have it in our mind's eye, we've done the purpose formula, we're now we're going to express this purpose formula, or purposes, right? We're going to put the purpose formula into a vision, an image of, a vision board, a collage that reflects that which is inside in the cave walls of your soul, right? We want to take that out and we want to express that. So we've done that. We've examined the purpose formula. Now you've started to articulate a vision board of what it is you need to do. And if you need to know how to do a vision board, just go to my website. There's the 5 steps to building a vision board or a collage. And so you've done this. Now here you are, you're starting out on the journey, and you need to aim in this direction, right? So let me get my colors right here. So the first force we want to talk about is, it's the force of doing. So let's call this the force of doing. The force of doing. Feels like doing. It feels like do sometimes, doggy do, because it's nothing but one thing after another. The endless list of shitty things you got to do. Never mind. So here we are, and when we step into that, of course, we build strategies, we do SMART goals. By the way, these are soul goals. This is like who you want to be in the village, and how it is that you see yourself engaging with relationship and self and service. It's that person that is inside of you that you know wants to come out. And that's that person that is in the middle here. You know, there's those 3 hearts that we talked about. You know, but that courageous self, that part of you that is whole already, that is already resting into natural great peace, that is already fully awake, and that we just need to remove the obstacles, you know, those challenges that come to us. We just have to work with, you know, the symptoms that come to us, whether it be mind symptoms, body symptoms, soul symptoms, because that allows then for this to just naturally to express itself, right? So here we go, but the first force we're all familiar with, we're trained up on, is the doing force, right? We put a strategy together, we do short-term goals, long-term goals, medium-term goals, and we start marching, right? You know, these are the SMART goals. This is soul goals, aspirational goals, who we need to be in the world, who we want to live into. This is more doing goals. It's really breaking it down every day, so you have your to-do list, you're flexing that like get shite done muscle, you know, and you're working with it, right? And we're good at that. Of course, there's a shadow side to that, and it leads to addiction, and it leads to overthinking, and it leads to just being a problem to be solved. You think you're just a problem to be solved. Okay, switching colors here. Now, I want to go here into, okay, the force. This is the force of being. Right? This is just what some people call the law of attraction. These forces could be laws. We could call them laws. We could call them secret codes. We could call them principles. But they've got to be worked with. So the force of being is really about you being that person now. Do you remember we had this beautiful image of this person standing in all their glory? And with a big smile on their face. So this force is about, like, right? We used to think that happiness is the way. Now we know that we used to think that happiness comes after you've, you know, at the end of doing. But now we know that happiness builds success and prosperity. That's the force of being. So you dip down, you rest into your self-care so that you're mobilizing already prosperity and love and intimacy and vitality and authenticity while you walk towards, yes, guess what, we're going to do both, but what happens is this comes towards you. Because why? Because you're being it, right? So you being who you want to be in the village now and declaring that and putting a flag and the flagpole on the ground and flying and saying, this is who I am, and I'm going to internalize this and walk into this every day. This is very powerful, right? So, and you need to do both, right? And guess what? The third force is the combination of these two. And that is, you can't get away with not understanding this, the force of creation. The force of creation is combining this force and this force, so that now not only are you walking every day towards and you fully expressing all the way along the way, but which brings all of this to you. This force of creation now mobilizes your boldness, genius, power, and magic in you, so that now you're fully expressing. You're owning the podium. You're like, this is going to happen. I am living it every day as the living proof of who I am and what do I see in my so-called future. Not really. What is now. While I do, yes, the things I need to do. I need to do books. I need to take care of the dishes. I need to, now make dinner tonight. I need to do all those practical things. Those two working together, you become fully expressed. It's just every day is just one of those creative days of, wow, I wonder how I can put these two forces together and really step into them and really fully be me in my authentic nature, in my authority, and author my life the way I want to live it. Right? This makes sense to you guys. You guys got this. You know these forces. They're just there to work with. And it is part of us working, from work to service. When you could just do a vision of this and then use these laws to walk towards it. Now, this is self-care. This is you getting shite done, you know, getting on with it and being practical and productive and functional and strategic and da-da-da. This is being very creative every day and just living and playfully engaging with all that fabulous energy all day long. You could just focus on relationship as your purpose. You could focus on your self-care and challenge yourself. For the next 3 months, I'm going to just really bring this energy up, but I'm going to be smart. I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to go and eat better. I'm going to, you see what I'm saying? I hope this makes sense. Any questions, of course, engage with me, send me an email, let me know how you're thinking if you have any questions. My question to you is, wow, I wonder how I can live more here. And then think that there are 3 answers to that and just write them down. Imagine what the 3 answers are for you living with both of these. We all do this anyway. I'm just making conscious what the forces are. And then you say, okay, I wonder how I can live more in this territory, because this is where the magic is. This is where the boldness is. This is where you really, right? As Goethe says, you know, boldness is genius, power, and magic in it. See you next time.